Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Shamiksha.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shamiksha ji.
Shh, Nidesh. Of course, of course. Samiksha ji, I've asked you to unmute. Kindly unmute yourself, please.
I'm doing it. Okay,
Yeah,
it's done now. Yeah.
Try. I'm sorry, actually, you logged in with Rijul, so I've been waiting for some time. Let me start the program. First of all, a very warm welcome to Samiksha and the members who have joined in. We still have a stream of people coming in. Uh, can we wait for 2 minutes, and during this period I'll just introduce the topic so that we can all be at the same pace.
Yep.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about fashion e-retail, and we have Shamiksha Bajaj, who's the co-founder of Samshek, and I would be interacting with her. I'm the founder of Smartedge, which is a platform for innovators to solve some of the real world challenges and help the youth, women, and small and medium enterprises to adopt technology. So we conceptualized this hack at fashion sometime back when we found that there is a huge problem in terms of the small and medium enterprises adopting technology. And in the COVID-19 time, in the corona times, we've seen a lot of weavers and handloom and other sectors actually being hugely impacted in terms of getting their livelihood options because of the lockdown, and then subsequently the kind of ban that is there in terms of free movement of people and other scare because of the corona and the COVID-19. So we thought we might be in a position to help some of them. And this handloom festival, which is parallelly happening uh, in the by the World Trade Center at worldtradeexpo.org, uh, where I Am Khadi is one of the other partners. We joined hands with them and we said, let us do this exercise. No better way to learn technology by people who have already adopted technology and have been the forefront in the technology space. I happen to be in the technology sector for over 35 years, and I said that let us really bring in some of the knowledge and share it in this sector, especially when you really look at the fashion. Fashion actually brings in a much higher value addition to the products which are locally produced, and this thing, because the world is moving towards what is called sustainable fashion. And we've been running this program from first, and today is the fifth session. So we've had sessions both on business side and on the technical side, and both from the fashion industry and from the IT industry professionals. So today we will discuss the e-retail part, because this is something that has actually shown a lot of interest with people who are in the in this space, especially the student community and the community which is looking at exporting their products internationally. And now is the level playing field for them, that in case they use the technology, there is no bar in terms of using the uh, technology to really reach out to the masses. And that is where we stand. So without further ado, I will like to invite Samiksha ji. The structure of the program would be like this, that we would spend about 10-15 minutes each talking about what we have to share. And then we will move on to some discussion to really understand where we can take it to the next level. And then followed by the technology that one has. That effectively means that Samiksha can showcase the technology that she has developed and take it to the I will actually give a complete overview subsequently. So we would begin with Samiksha, and I am just giving the control to you, Samiksha. You can uh, start your presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Dolly ji, for this giving the chance to join this wonderful platform to share about redefining fashion with sustainable and digital tech. I think this is one of the hottest topic which is being globally discussed, not only in India but globally, where people are just talking about technology, how they can get the technology into fashion, not only in a research phase, but how it can be adapted by different brands or companies so that people can get an advantage of it. So I will just share the screen to take you through. Okay. Just a quick background about myself and then the journey that we have started in Samshek. Myself, as she described, Shamiksha Bajaj, co-founder of Samshek. It's been 10 years now into this industry where we have started with technology good 6 years back and trying to adapt the technology into real fashion. So my journey with Samshek got started in 2015 when I joined with my co-founder Abhishek Bajaj in America. That everybody talks about fashion. We are talking about fashion in terms of mass production. We're talking about fashion in terms of bespoke, but nobody's talking about technology. That how we can adopt the technology and make a scalable solution. So, with my background into fashion, I spoke with Abhishek one overnight that how we can adapt technology and we can scale the system of bespoke garments like mass production. So, fashion has an history of like they started bespoke in 1960s, then they moved to mass production. A lot of brands they come up with two collections in 1 year, like every 6 months, then move to 3 months every year. And then Zara came into picture when they started changing the collection within just 10 days. And which was mind blowing that how a brand can so quickly give the fast fashion to the people, and people start accepting it. But they were not knowing that how this fast fashion is coming into picture, what are the practices given at the back end, is the brand sustainable, is the ethical practices are being used. So we thought that, okay, that's good, we can change the collection in 10 days, but it is produced on mass production basis, where every year we are left with a lot of inventory. Around 3.2 billion tons of the fabric is being wasted everywhere, every year. So a lot of inventory goes into waste. So we thought of, and what is the reason behind this inventory? Basically, I mean, either a customer will not fit into the standard sizes, or they will not like the design, or they will not like the style, or they have some or other issue in the garment where they leave the garment and they don't buy it. So at the end of a year, every company, every brand, they left around 30% of unsold inventory globally. So which is around 30 million of tons globally, the textile waste is happening, which is huge. And that's how the problem of sustainability comes into picture. It is not a sustainable way of producing mass production and then giving it, harming the environment. So we thought of why not to replace this mass production with mass customization. Now for mass customization, definitely bespoke is there where you are stitching the garment as per the size, but however, you are not producing on a scale. So what we realized that why not to come up with the technology into the system like 3D body scanner, automated manufacturing system at the back end, digital inventory, and a quick delivery. So with this, we can solve two problems of the customer, like whatever they want, they can get their body scan into their size, and whatever they want in terms of design, they can do a digital customization on the website or on the touch screen, where they can just choose the style, make some changes. Like, I mean, a woman has a problem with a neckline or a sleeve length or a dress length or a color. So she has all the options with, on the screen, and she can do the customization bit. Now, with the customization, she will get the style that she looks for. And in terms of the sizing, she might be XL, or she might fix between XL to double XL, or she might fix between 9XL to 8XL. Somewhere in between, she can give her body scanning. So body scanner is basically a machine which takes your measurement in 5 seconds and gives out 150 measurements of your body. So if she gives her own measurement, she customizes the inventory style, and she places an order within the next 48 hours, she can pick up her order, or she can get it delivered at her place. So this thing, though it's I mean, by saying it, it is not as easy as it is being said, but you have to change the whole system at the back end. So we thought, why not to integrate the few technologies into the system in terms of the front end and in terms of the back end manufacturing, and come up with this solution that you get your own style in your size within 48 hours. That is quick delivery. So we are bridging the gap between mass production and bespoke at a scalable level, which is mass customization. So when we discussed about this idea, and it was like in 2000, back in 2015, that will it be possible? Because I was from the background of purely manufacturing, and Abhishek just joined. He was more of a technology part. It's like, definitely, why not we can do this? And this is not only a requirement only in India, but globally, this can be scaled up. Because in fashion, if you talk about customization, scalability is a big problem. So then we started our research for 3 years. We did our research. And in 2017, we filed our patent in America for the whole technology thing, the whole business process with the back end and the front end. Then we realized, for moving forward, okay. Moving forward, then we just filed our patent, and we said, like, let's put it into execution. Now, execution is not easy in terms of fashion when you have to train your tailors that you are making one piece in one day. Now you have to make the piece in 2 hours. So we have to go through the whole system at the back end, telling them that this is how you have to do it. So integrating the technology in terms of 3D body scanning, then artificial intelligence, then front-end digital customizations. Now, digital customization is something which is very interesting to hear, that every brand, they do mass production, they create one style with tons of sizes and tons of colors. But at Samshek, what we do, we don't do tons of sizes. We just make one size, and we make the combinations digitally. We don't create them. So whenever the order comes in, we manufacture that particular style with that measurements. In that way, we just get rid of the extra inventory that every brands hold on. So keeping all those things in mind, then we just created our vision that Samshek has to be at the forefront of sustainability and technology fashion industry by offering mass customization in clothing. So in order to have a bigger vision, we come up with this small a mission that now, okay, we create the technology, we create everything, but what about the pricing? Because if you're doing bespoke, everybody has that of a mindset that it is going to be highly priced because we're making single piece. But the whole system changed when we introduced technology into the whole process. So we kept the pricing and the quality as compared to as the real brands. That prices are not going too high. If you get a shirt of 1700 rupees in a ready to wear out store, you will get the same price at Samshek as well, being that personalized to your size and as per your requirement of the fabric or color or sleeve design, whatever changes design you want. So we just break everything into smaller parts and started our journey in 2018 with this whole system. So in terms of the category that we use is Western wear clothing, casual evening wear, party and corporate. The price range between 1200 to 4000. Now, if you see, the original style is being made in white color, this white dress with the golden bow. A customer has an option of dress length, front neckline, back neckline, sleeves, and even the color of the fabric. So she can customize and see that, okay, I want a round neckline, she can do into round neckline, which she'll see in real that how it looks like. And then if she want to change the size, the length of the garment, she can do below knee. She want to add sleeves, she can do that as well. She want to change the color, it's being done. So like this, you are not imagining the whole system, but you are seeing it, how the design can be customized as per your requirement. And keeping that thing in mind, you can customize everything. In terms of that, I mean, in services that we deliver the outfit within 48 hours. Now, this is the whole advantage of the technology that we can do a quick delivery because at the back end, everything is technologically based. Like we are using CAD, we are using manual cutting plus automated cutting, and then tailors and the automated finishing process, which can help us to speeden up the process. So these are some of the styles that we do, like dresses, shirts, corporate shirts, some different designs. So this is our store which we launched in Pune, where we have a touch screen at the back end, if you can see, where a customer can do the customization, and at the back end we have a body scanner. So then we collaborate with a lot of marketplaces like Tata Click, Agio, Nykaa. We are already live. Myntra, we're coming soon through our online. Now coming up to the sustainability bit of this whole model is like a zero waste model. We don't end up with the inventory. It is all digital inventory that we have. So keeping the one manufacturing system, which is operating, which is feeding all the online market and even our store in India and few marketplaces in America, and keeping everything made on order. Nothing is being made beforehand. We just keep only fabrics and accessories. That once the order comes, it goes into process within fraction of second, cut, stitched, and 2 hours. Within 2 hours, it is ready. So keeping that low time of manufacturing and cutting, the other systems are being technologically, they are connected to each other, which will help us to make the garment within 2 working hours at the back end, and it is shipped next day. So this will allow us not to create tons of inventory, not to create, keep the inventory at the back end or at the store. Whatever is being ordered, it is being made on order once the order has been come. These are few milestones and coming up with new, adding on with the technology that we have, like body scanning app. Now, as we are talking about e-retail, this is a little bit away from Samshek, but if you're talking on a general scenario, we're talking about e-retail. A lot of marketplaces like Nykaa, Fashion, Myntra, Agio, LimeRoad, Club Factory, or if we talk about Amazon also, there are around 30 to 40% of return rate. One is the inventory bulk, which is left at every time with the marketplaces or brands. But apart from that, there is a lot of issues with the sizing. So 30 to 40% of inventory, there are returns on the marketplaces. So major reason as per the research that there is a size issue. People, they think that if I'm fitting small in Topshop or in American Eagle, I might fit in small in other brand as well, or in Nike or some other brand. But what happens actually, the small size of H&M is different, the small size of Zara is different, the small size of Nike is different. So people do get confused. They take it as a standard sizing. And because of it, around 30% of the returns are being happening in online marketplaces globally just due to the sizes. Now, we are trying to make, I mean, everybody's trying hard to get the standardization more accurate, but still there is a lot of challenges which are being faced in this industry, specifically in online marketplaces. Now, if we come up with an online scanning app that, okay, you download this app, scan your body and get your exact measurements. So if your exact measurements are 32, then you can see in the size guide, okay, I fit small of Zara with my chest size and small of medium of H&M with this chest size, then we might reduce on the returns of the sizing. So that is what Samshek is trying to develop, that building a Samshek app where you can, sitting at home, you can scan your body. You don't have to go anywhere out or get your measurements done to the store. Sitting at home, scan your body, get your measurements, and you can choose the right size. This will not only help Samshek, but a lot of other brands also to reduce the return rate of online marketplaces. Then it is in the process of coming up with an AI styling app, which is too early to share right now, but this will help you to create your wardrobe, that if you have these particular styles with you, what the matching should be done as per your body style, as per your body shape. So Samshek is going to assist and is a virtual stylist to help you to find the right outfit or a matching of outfit into your wardrobe every day. It might create a calendar for you that if you're going to this party, wear this dress because you have not worn this dress from past 5-10 days. So this is kind of a new techniques and applications which is Samshek is about to launch in coming 1 year. Then introduction of virtual mirrors. So this is one of the important role that plays in terms of stores also and online as well. Like in stores that we queue up outside the trial room, we have to wait for long, that we need to change the outfit, we need to see how it fits on our body. Why not to have virtual mirrors, that if you keep a mirror in your store, you don't have to queue outside the trial room. You don't have to make tons of trial room as per from the brand side. That virtual stand, put the garment on your body. I mean, just hang it on your body, and the virtual mirror will help you out to understand that how the fit of the garment is on your body. So you don't have to go into the trial room, change all over again and see the fitting. Virtual mirror will help you out to just find it out that how it fits on your body. So a lot of things, a lot of noise is being created everywhere globally. But are we still have adapted to it? I think COVID has, it's being proven as a boom to fashion industry, specifically technology. Now people are actually, and brands and companies are also actually understanding the power of technology in fashion, in terms of virtual mirrors, in terms of styling apps. So I think in coming few years, we might see globally that everybody has accepted virtual mirrors in the store to reduce the queue lines and help people to more get tech savvy and reduce their time or conversion rate for in the store. So the competitive advantages that Samshek has over other brands as of now, because of the technology that they have adapted to, is that we don't have to create inventory till 9XL. So we are ready to offer the outfit in 9XL as well to the client. I mean, we don't have to create all the sizes. We don't have to create all the inventory. If even comes up that my bust size is 56, and we do, I mean, though it is not a big market, but it is a niche market, which is still untapped because everybody is not making all the sizes. So for us, it is a very big advantage that we offer a customer till 9XL. If she has a big bust or a hip size different, she can easily customize as per our standards, and she can get her outfit. Similarly, The same kind of process has been trying and tested by H&M also recently. So they tied up in one of the brands in California, where they are trying to customize jeans within next 15 days, deliver within next 15 days. So, but still is in testing and launch phase. And we have an advantage that we are already live into the market, that we are customizing as per your body style. So as other brands do, we also being part of social media presence. Samshek is available on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, then YouTube. We have a lot of videos being covered by a lot of news and Pinterest. So these are a few links which will just help you to understand. I might share this after this discussion, that how the whole system works in terms of body scanner. So this is how once a woman goes into the store, she scans her body, and this is how her measurements comes out through an avatar of her body. So we got a lot of media coverages in ET, then Images Retail, and Boston Chronicle, Fiber to Fashion, Fashion Network, the New Indian Express, What's Hot, LBB. So a lot of been coverages being made around it. We got covered by Your Story. Samshek was awarded in London in 2017. Then we got a recently award in Mumbai in Asia Africa GCC Retail Shopping Center for executing sustainable innovative technology in retail in stores. A lot of collaborations has been done. Nisha Rawal, Deepshikha Nagpal, then Priyanka Khurana, Harley Davidson, Hiba Nawab, actress, TV actress. This is a team that we major team that we have from different, I would say, countries. Abhishek is a co-founder of the company. Graham Danieli is a CFO with a 30 plus years of experience in retail. And Mike Graham, he's from America, from Seattle, as a senior advisor on board. So this is a small gist of Samshek that we are doing. But in terms of future, coming as an e-retail that we are talking about, these all technologies, if it can be implemented in different applications, in I would say in different ways, because every brand is not doing customization. Body scanners, scanning apps can be used in different ways to reduce the return rates. Virtual mirrors can be used in different way online, where a customer, because sometimes picture on model, garment on model looks very different when it's worn on your body. So it is very different. So if we can come up with the technology of virtual mirrors where they can just see the garment on their body, return rate can be reduced. So these small things, which is a future of fashion, I would say in coming 5 to 10 years, though it is being speed up because of this COVID thing, it has forced the brands to adapt to the technology and innovate themselves. So this can be a good platform for technology to be incorporated in the fashion. So I think we all have to, as a brand owners, as a company owners, we have to think in that way where we can provide lot of other things in sustainability, not only in inventory, but lot of other ways are also can be included in the manufacturing side of the garments, where we can help everybody to understand the concept of sustainability. It's not only about talking, but we have to change our systems in terms of manufacturing, in terms of ethical practices in the fashion, and we can uh, train our customers also, because fast fashion, we are trying to do fast fashion, I mean giving economical price range, but how we are doing economical, we are squeezing our tailors for that, we are squeezing our back and forth to at least have a similar margins. So sustainability can be talked on different terms, in terms of inventory, reduction of inventory, having fast fashion, but on ethical practices. Then we can talk about in terms of dyes that we use in the garments to reduce the effect on the environment. So sustainability is in different terms where we can talk about different things. So on the whole, it is good to train our customers also that they should adapt to sustainable brands rather than just moving towards, okay, they're liking it and they're buying it without knowing what is the backstory of the brand. So it's just joining of hands together to make it happen. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Samiksha. It was such a wonderful insight to what you are doing. I would just take another 10 minutes to come down to what I perceive is e-retail and what you are doing, how it maps to it. Especially when we are talking in the COVID-19 times, we have a lot of challenges in the fashion industry, not just in India, but worldwide. And now is the time that we should really look at sustainability in a big way, especially overcoming the kind of challenges which are currently being presented by use of technology. And what the work that you have done actually paves the way for a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of very young startups who are wanting to really get into this area. Uh, One of the reasons why we are doing this exercise, not just a hackathon, but a boot camp to be preceded before the actual hackathon, is to really make people aware of these products, these technologies, and how you can use them to overcome the challenges going forward, especially moving towards sustainable fashion. Uh, uh, can you please stop sharing your screen? I would
Sure, I'll do
just take
that.
up the. So, in case anybody has any question for Samiksha, you could put it in the chat window, and she could answer it. We also have a lot of people join in from the YouTube channel because we are streaming this live. So we would take questions in between in the gaps that we have. We will not be really taking online questions because of the delay in the changing over, etc. So I'm going to do exactly what Samiksha has just talked about a little more in detail in terms of what we perceive the fashion retail sector is going through, and it's in the cusp of a whole amount of what I would say disruption. And I'll be talking a little on the business overview, and then we will go down to the technical overview. I mean, after the business overview, we will have a session in which we will talk further with Samiksha as to what are some of the challenges and how they are solving it, as well as what is her perception of the industry in India and how we can possibly energize that. So, what is disrupting fashion? I think one of the biggest disruptor that is there is COVID-19, and we have to really kind of not only live with it, but also really run with the the technology adoption if we have to really manage the fashion, especially take it to a newer height and bring about the requisite change that is required. One of the other things that is happening in the sector is the millennials. So the amount of shopping, the amount of money that the millennials are spending on e-commerce is growing at a very high rate, which is due to the high speed internet and the mobile penetration, even up to the small towns, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I mean, we have a deep penetration happening. When we talk in context of India, internationally, it is already there. But the most important thing that's going to really make a difference is the technology, and we will be talking more on that. So, what are we really talking in terms of the COVID impact in fashion e-retail? And that's why we are moving into e-retail. I personally believe that e-retail actually was waiting to happen in a big way, but the COVID is going to really accelerate the whole process, because retailers are closing brick and mortar shops because they can't afford to keep their shops closed and not be able to sell their inventory, and so on and so forth. Everybody knows about it. I don't need to really spend time on that, but there is a massive shift to online e-commerce shopping. And because the online time is increasing, the TV time is increasing as people are staying home, they are not moving out until and unless it is nearly is important to really. So fashion sales will likely lag in most difficult weeks, but if we really practice some of the technology norms, and we can circumvent that kind of problem and make it an opportunity. So three major trends which I see a lot of disruption happening in the fashion sector is having sustainable fabrics, sustainable access, as what Samiksha just mentioned, and wearables. So you're going to have wearables as a part of a fashion statement, tightly integrated into either the accessories or into your garments or into your the overall fashion statement that you're trying to create. And already 3D printed shoes have seen a lot of I mean, it has been a fancy area right now, but yes, 3D printing is here to stay, and technology is available to do a lot more than just printing shoes, but also in terms of accessories, in terms of printing one garment at a time, and being able to really cater to a very personalized and very niche market in a very sustainable manner. So essentially, we are moving toward from retail to e-retail, where we are not just looking at selling online, but actually aiding the sales through the electronic mediums. Now, when we talk about electronic medium, we need to understand that it is not just the electronic medium, but what is what is the target in terms of the millennials are looking at. They are shopping at Amazon, at eBay, at Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and other areas. So how do we really use this? How do the retail outlets use these mediums is where the disruption is going to happen. How we will really bring in the use of these in the whole process of marketing. So when we look at fashion, some of the trends that we have to watch is the shoppable ads on social media. Now, this is one part which has often been ignored in the social media. Social media, we've been using social media to promote our brands. We've been using social media to bring in a lot of interest to your brand. But uh, we're not introducing shoppable ads so that people can really engage with these shopping experiences and bring about. So this is one trend that is started to happen. And as Samiksha just showed, that you can actually create your own garment virtually, or you can give your details that you are looking for. And that's happening right now on the websites of the individual brands. But we are moving towards using that in the social media also. So ethical brands are disrupting the fashion economy, and I think Samiksha has aptly kind of illustrated how she is doing that. The third area is the online shops are getting much better return. So you have returns that are possible, returns that are possible without actually selling a product which is not been preference, in terms of your size. You will have a much better return output, in the sense that you will not have too many returns in the process of your sales experience in retail. But more importantly, how the technology is going to aid is in terms of the voice research. The voice research is going to really give uh, a whole amount of new paradigm for companies to be able to engage with customers in their local language, in terms of having chatbots in personalized and the language that they speak and they talk. At the same time, you are not really having too many people to really respond. So there is a lot of automation that is possible. And we're moving to AR shopping, which is something, a trend that we need to really be cognizant of. And also in terms of the AR shopping, already Samiksha has illustrated how she's experiencing this thing. You can take it to the next level by using 3D modeling techniques, and being able to really provide a much higher level of personalization in terms of shopping. And that's the trend that we need to really map up to. Mobile is the new desktop. So you're no longer really having desktops which you need to really do shopping. You can use mobile and work on any kind of interaction with the customer. So the brands have to really engage. The advantage that mobile offers as opposed to the desktop is that you have there are multiple sensors in the mobile which can actually give a lot of feedback, lot of information to the customer, to the brands, that how they can engage with the customers. And this is where the power has yet to be really looked up by the brands themselves. And if they don't understand it, and if they don't engage, they don't provide those tags, those places where they tap this information, they might be not able to use the benefit. Now, video is still on the rise. Video is always going to be one of the very important medium, because fashion is a visual statement. So you would need a lot of video support. And currently, most of the websites, most of the this thing have done very little to really develop video-based interactive systems. So this is something that we need to really see how we could engage with a little more. So looking at the apparel sector, because that's the major area in the fashion industry, we find that in the retail expenditure in fashion by the revenues, uh, the highest three areas: the women wear, the men wear, and the children's wear. And I'm talking about retail, I'm not talking about e-retail. And so if we see this thing, the trend is that we are having retail as one in the retail segment. The major purchasing is in the apparel sector, and this is the area that needs to be concentrated when we really look at getting into this particular business, especially making a so coming down to the fashion industry is in the e-retail sector is almost touching 100 billion in revenues in e-commerce alone. So it becomes one of the largest growing, fastest growing, and the largest sector in the online retail. As the brands are getting increasingly savvy about collecting more and more information and leveraging the mass of data being generated by online shoppers. And more and more technology adoption is happening to gather this data. And what is the data that we need to gather and how it has to be gathered has to be a very tight integration between the way the product is being e-retailed, the way the product is being sold through e-commerce channel, and the way that we are engaging with the customers through various 360-degree engagement with the customers. So there are three major areas that we need to look at when we talk about e-retail in fashion. One is the average order value, the retention rate, and how frequently customers post review. These are the three major areas that you need to look at when you are looking at creating a successful online apparel sale. So continuing further, as I said that just to give some numbers, more business in terms of the kind of technology retailing is actually bringing down the average order value. So, there are smaller orders, but there are more numbers. So it's very important to understand that you have to really kind of create a good balance of ways to really increase your average order value by either having repeat customers or by developing a lot of so retention is the lifeblood. In e-retail, retention is the lifeblood. Ometria research actually says that the customer acquisition cost is about 7 times more than the customer retention. So that effectively means that if I have to engage with an existing customer, it is 7 times cheaper to really getting another customer. So it's more economical and more useful when you are on the online business, online retail, or in terms of e-commerce. You need to really engage much more with your customer to retain them. Now, how do you retain the customers? So you need more customer reviews. Uh, BW Research, which is one of the largest reviewing research agency for most of the lifestyle products, they say that 77% of the shoppers will always look at the review of the products before buying them. So reviews become a very important. So as we have word of mouth, reviews become your word of mouth in the online retail. So some of the technologies that are going to be most important in terms of this thing is the augmented reality, e-commerce try-ons, and 3D design and development. And I think Samiksha mentioned all three of them in what they are doing in these three areas. But here I will stop and just introduce the Handloom Festival that is going on right now. The Handloom Festival is happening at World Trade Expo, as I mentioned, from 17th October to 15th November. It has been extended to the month end, but I will encourage everybody to really see this. And also, I would request Samiksha to log in and try to see what all products are being shared. We are also participating in terms of actually conducting business to business meetings during this World Trade Expo show. So with this, I conclude the first part of the talk, and I would encourage if anybody has a question to put it in the chat window and see how we could take this panel discussion after that, and we'll cover the questions in the panel discussion. So if anybody has a question, I'll just have a look at if anybody has posted something. I think there were one or two questions that I saw. Samiksha, have you seen any of the chat questions addressed to you?
Nothing as of now. I mean, I couldn't find
Nothing
anything.
is of
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Right. So there was one question which Swati had put. Uh, Swati, would you like to take a question? You had a question which you had sent out earlier to me. I will unmute you if you'd like to take it before we start the panel. I have unmuted you.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, you
Hi.
can put on your webcam also.
Let me. Hi.
Hi, Swati.
Thank you, Dolly ji. Hi, Samiksha. It's quite funny that just yesterday I was asking Dolly ma'am that this is something that I run a brand here, and taking customization is the like we cannot make we are making instant wear sarees which cannot be made without customization. So taking measurements is a very big hindrance for us. So I have been talking to people to create such an app where like body scanning and all. Plus, it's very funny that everything that you said about AI styling, exact idea was in my mind too. So I just wanted to ask you if you are outsourcing your technology, or maybe is there any way that we can collaborate? Because I don't want not want to. I mean, instead of starting from scratch, if something is available already, I would prefer collaboration there than putting up my energy in starting from scratch.
Great, Swati. It's very interesting. I think everybody is moving in the same direction, but as Dolly has mentioned, there are a lot of, I mean, technology is out, but there are still challenges that we all are facing.
Yeah.
So we, as per your question, we are developing the technologies in-house. We are not doing any outsourcing as of now because there's a lot of concern of data into it. But after this call, we can definitely connect over email or something where whatever, because I think everybody is going through the same boat. And the journey that we have covered, I would really like to share with more people so that they should not go through the same thing. And everybody can move faster in this space, and we can just get rid of all the small challenges. So after this call, we can definitely connect and over email where I can share you what all we can collaborate, how we can help you out with our technology if it's suitable for you as well. And we can do some collaboration in that case.
Great.
Definitely.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati.
Yeah. So I think just to give this thing, Swati has been a startup and I would request Swati, why don't you really very quickly kind of talk about what you are doing and what is the patented product that you already have in terms of the this thing? Just a glimpse so that other participants can also know a little bit of what you are doing and seek some synergies across the board. Yeah.
Thank you again. So my name is Swati and I run a social enterprise in Mumbai called Asim Shakti. So Asim Shakti is primarily a skill development and employment generation company for women. So for that, like we train women into tailoring, embroidery and stuff, and we started a clothing brand under which we have a design patented product, which is instant wear saris with pockets. So saris never had pockets before. So and it's a feminist approach to clothing. So it fits very well with our work of livelihood creation for women. So at the same time, like at Asim Shakti, we are trying to have a high social impact along with highly innovative products. So currently, we are also working on making a prototype of pockets which can charge your phone. And the second thing that I wanted to build was a body scanner which can take your measurements because for our saris we need measurement for each order. So it's not just high social impact but also highly innovative products. That's what we're trying to do at Asim Shakti, and our goal is to generate 10,000 jobs by 2025 for women. So anybody here who would like to collaborate with me or working on the similar lines, I would love to hear from you.
Wonderful.
So anybody else who has a question, we'll just move on to the next session. You can put it in the chat window and we will take up that in the next break. So Yash, if you have any question.
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, so fine. So we are moving towards the discussions on what we can do to energize the system and how we could really integrate the technology and the fashion, especially looking at the entire ecosystem. When we talk about the fashion ecosystem, we are not just talking about fashion for exports alone, but we're also talking about fashion for common people, for fashion for Indian. I mean, we have a huge market which is lying untapped. How can we really energize the system? How can we really bring about this thing? This is one question that I have been working on for the last 1.5 year that I have. And I found that there are 3 or 4 ways where technology can bring in a huge change. And I would like to know from you before I share my views as to what is the approach you think that is needed to bring in mainstream fashion into the lives of so just as the previous speaker just mentioned that she's working on trying to innovate new products, especially targeted at saris are normally worn by Indians. But you have a lot of challenges when you're wearing saris. I, for one, have a problem that I have a slip disc and I can't, I mean, I love saris, but I can't wear saris today because it exposes my back and my back really gets a real severe problem. So there are a lot of challenges that India has in terms of the kind of clothing that we wear. And is there something that you feel that can be done to really energize the local fashion or the fashion for local community? Rather than just looking at the international clothing and imitating the called the current international trends and the international markets.
Uh, I think I should first start from here itself. The platform that you're providing is one of the first step to get rid of this challenge. Now, India is a huge country. It is a diverse place. Somebody is working on saris, somebody is working on Western wear, someone is working on suits, someone is working on business suits. Then there are a lot of other strings are being attached to it. But everybody is working in isolation. We don't know whom should we meet. Like now, when I got to know about Swati, that she's also looking for something similar, like a body application. Today, if this platform was not there, I could have never come across with the challenge of Swati. Though we are also facing the same thing, we are developing it, but this needs an integration of the whole system. The way you are working, getting more people on platform, giving them an opportunities to connect with different people who are working in different angles in terms of technology or different products, or I mean, it has a lot of strings. So this is a first step that we all should come together. What all we are learning in our experience, we should share with more people. The mistakes that, let's say, the mistakes that Samshek or we have done, or we have learned through this 5 or 6 years of journey, we can definitely share those things with other people, where they might have starting and they might take another 5 years to reach that stage, but with our experience and the issues that we have resolved, if they can grasp it immediately, then that span of 5 years will reduce to 1 year. So, to overcome the challenges, integration is required throughout the country. People should come step forward to talk about it. They should not shy that, okay, we are looking for this thing. Talk with the people, that whosoever is doing, connect with them, ask for their experiences, inculcate into your business processes, and things can be more easy. So in fashion industry, technology or new systems are at very nascent stage. They are at very starting stage. People are still trying, people are still testing with the technologies, people are still testing the new business processes, people are still testing the new manufacturing systems. So fashion is still at the same system which it was before 50 years. If we talk about 1950s or 1960, we are using same tailors, we are using same pattern masters, we are using same kind of processes. We have not came up with the robotic sewing system. We have not came up with the robotic cutting systems, because these are the basic roots of the manufacturing of garments, be whatever the product is. It's a suit or it's a sari, whatever the product is. So on the whole, we have to come up with our whatever we are doing, we have to share with the people. We have to tell them that this is what is happening. Try and adapt with the new technologies. Now, smaller brands or smaller companies or new entrepreneurs or new startups, they are trying to do their bit. But the bigger companies, they also understand and come forward and help more entrepreneurs by support of funding, by giving them some platforms or some teachings or some webinars or some classes, something like that, which can help them to grow faster, to understand the things more better way. The basic challenge that we everybody is facing, the I mean, I was just talking to one of our colleagues in the same industry. I would not able to take the name of the brand, but yeah, so that company has a history of 80 years now. The first generation doesn't want to come up and adapt with the new technologies. They are like, okay, how can we just get rid of those tailors or makers and replace them with a CAD? We cannot reduce our strength. We cannot leave those people. But no, it's not like that. You have to move forward. You have to come up with the new innovation technologies. You have to adapt to it. You have to integrate with your system to make it more faster and quicker. So we have to accept it. So I think the whole system starts with the bigger companies in India. Let's not talk even globally, but in India itself, there are bigger fashion tycoons. They should come up with and introduce it to people that, okay, this is new technology. Let's say if today online marketplace Myntra talks about customization on their platform. So people will accept, and because of its credibility in the market, people get more awareness to accept it of customization. But if a smaller brand or new entrepreneur comes into this picture and talks about it, people might take a little longer to accept it. So bigger companies should come into, should step forward and talk about it, start introducing new technologies. And as our responsibility towards fashion, sustainability, and technology, we should share more and more and attend more and more webinars and give more platforms to the people, connect people on a faster pace so that everybody can understand we should not work on isolation. That's what I strongly feel, that we should step forward to take it, not only for us, for our company, but for the society, for more people to get into it.
Great. So a baby step is what we have taken, but we need companies like you to support us to really make sure that you engage with the. So we have something close to about 196 registered participants for this boot camp, which
Wow.
is a 15-day affair that we are having, and we are going to have we have 8 planned sessions, which are technology on fashion tech, and then both a combination of fashion experts and technology experts. But we also have 8 sessions which are planned for the business to business sessions, which are more focused towards how to generate business, how to do business with certain countries, and so on and so forth, or certain product categories. And uh, uh, Yash Arya of I'm Khadi, he is spearheading that particular B2B sessions, and he will share some of the details of the forthcoming programs. So if you can encourage to promote them, that will boost a lot of new players who are in the market to really get the benefit out of it. So we're doing it for the first time. In a very unorganized market at this point of time, so it's at times we just don't get the necessary support that we need. And it has been more of a passion for me for the last 2 years. I've been trying to see how we could energize this system and create higher value addition in the fashion sector, and especially help to get into the sustainable fashion area. Considering that fashion is the highest polluting industry, at the same time, the e-retail e-commerce in fashion is probably the highest revenue generator in the world. So why can't we really do a lot more than the current activity that we have? So moving further, when we talk about fashion, we do talk about sustainability. But what are the things that you think India has an edge in terms of sustainable fashion?
India, I mean, I would say India is one of the countries which is full of talent, which is full of people with different talent. And in terms of sustainability, we can try with more of sustainable fabrics. So there are a lot of fabric manufacturers, like let's say if we talk about Surat, it's hub of polyester fabric. Let's say if Surat itself takes an initiative to start making recyclable polyester, and I mean, reduce the polyester, normal polyester to 10% and start producing recyclable polyester. That's how we are going to start with our first step towards sustainability. Now, recycled polyester, almost 80% of the brands, they're using polyester for any clothing in different forms, polyester with satin finish, polyester with different finish. A lot of polyester finishes are being used. So if Surat takes that initiative, we are halfway through our journey, because that is the hub of it. Similarly, a lot of manufacturers who are producing cotton, if they come up with an organic cotton, we get a lot of queries regarding nylon, recyclable nylon now. When I spoke to few manufacturers, they were not even aware of. So it's not like that India doesn't have that kind of a talent. India has a talent. India needs awareness about it. Government should come up and start imposing some restrictions on the brands, that you have to come up with, okay, this percent of recyclable fabrics you have to use in your collection. So all those designers, all those mass producing brands, they have to take through those guidelines of the government, That can be a first step towards sustainability. India has a huge population. If we take this step, and even we do a lot of exports from India, a lot of manufacturing is being done in India, and it's going to be one of the growing industries after Bangladesh, after this COVID thing over next year. So if government imposes this kind of a restriction that most of the recycled fabrics has to be used, then everybody will start doing it. And the journey starts from there, that in sustainability, the first challenge that we have is about the fabrics that we are using. The second challenge that we have about the inventory that we are producing every time, and the kind of dyes we are using, which is polluting the water, seas and rivers, and different kind of other. We are harming our aqua kind of an environment. We're harming them as well. So that should be a starting step. It has to be an initiative, as I said before, also initiative taken by the brands, companies, and the government, and automatically it will pass on to the customers. So a lot of brands should talk about in their campaigns, they should talk about sustainability. Like Dia Mirza, she's one of the first, I think, kind of a Bollywood celeb in our industry, in Bollywood industry, who's talking about sustainability. So like this, if everybody comes up from the roots, because customer is the last one to pass on the message of sustainability to them, and who's going to take the initiative. If brands itself start talking about it, definitely that will be a starting point of the journey. And it has been already started, but we have to uh, fast process that thing, that everybody start talking about it and start executing. I think next 5 years down the line, when everybody take that initiative, we will be covering up a lot of journey towards sustainability.
So thank you for your question. In fact, my next question is in the same line. So India is the biggest producer of cotton. We are also have this traditional khadi as a product which we produce, and I think a lot of countries have been inspired by the Mahatma Gandhi's vision of khadi, that not only does it provide uh, uh, a livelihood to people, but also it is a very eco-friendly product. How can khadi be integrated into fashion? Currently, we don't see so much of integration of khadi and cotton in the the fashion industry per se. And today we also have solar khadi, and we also have polyester khadi. So, what is your view? How these can be integrated into the fashion world, and how do we look at creating this as a niche for us of India within the Indian ecosystem, so that we can position ourselves in the international market. At this point of time, to my knowledge, we have a very minuscule share in the world fashion market, despite the fact we have some very good brands which have come up with sustainable techniques, as well as we have collaborated. Reliance has collaborated with Elan to produce the Elan this thing. Then there are sportswear which is getting into the wearable category by integrating the electronics into the fabric itself, and so on and so forth. But what do you think is the way to really proceed to have over dependence of polyester, which is a very polluting garment, meaning to say that this produces a lot of carbon impact on the total process of production as well as disposal. So one of the categories that we have in our hackathon is this particular area, how to really move towards sustainable fabric and use khadi and handloom. So what are your views on that?
I think it's an interesting move in terms of sustainability using khadi, which is purely organic. Now, again, the story remains the same, that creators of fashion are the celebrities, designers, and the companies. If we start, I mean, for example, I mean, if we see the trends in fashion, recently we are seeing trend of tie and dye in night suits, in leisure wear, all over on international, specifically US marketplaces like Amazon or different brands. But still, the trend of tie and dye, which is the root of dyeing of Indian system, we have not seen here in Indian markets, tie and dye kind of a leisure wear, which might come after 6 months. But again, that in that country like US or UK, they've taken an initiative. So on the whole, the creators of the industry are designers, companies, and the government. So if let's say if designers take and pledge, okay, we have to get rid of polyester, we have to come up with the organic fabrics like khadi and organic cotton. Specifically, we talk about khadi. They come up with a mini capsule range of specifically garments made of khadi with more innovative designs into it, so that it becomes appealing to the customer. Because at the end of the day, customer is going to wear those garments which are trendy, which are they are not that much aware of sustainability, but they'll wear which is fitting well to them, which is trendy, and which is being worn by the celebrities. So they are trend followers, they're not trend creators. So if designers take a pledge of, okay, we have to make a one specific collection of khadi and pushes that into the market, government comes up, okay, in your collection you have to come up with this percentage of recyclable fabrics or khadi fabric and make a connection, and your whole collection or your whole production needs this percentage of garments, specifically khadi, into your collection. People will start definitely buying it. Celebrities take a pledge, okay, we have to promote this specific fabrics, definitely customers are going to buy it. So the roots of the industry, the roots of the fashion, the roots of the trend creators starts from the fashion designers, from the companies, and the government has also a lot of role to play into it. So if on behalf of companies, if we take this initiative, I'm sure people are going to accept it. People just need trendy clothes, they just need right fit. So we all have to start from here.
Right. Thank you so much. In fact, I've been trying to really see how we could energize the system. We have a question from Yash Arya, who is one of the co-organizer of the program, and he's been promoting Khadi. He would like to share his view if you would like to answer to him.
Yep.
Yash, can you put your question to Samiksha and see how
Sorry, Shamiksha.
share your
Good morning.
experience with
So now, as you have rightly said, that we need an intervention both from the corporate and also from the government towards
Yash, I can't
making.
hear you properly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Now can you hear me?
Yeah, still better.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So now, as you have rightly said, that yes, there is a need of an intervention from the government towards making certain policies where we need to work together cohesively to get things done. So we are already towards advocating the same with the government, to the government and also with the other stakeholders in the complete value chain. So we would be happy that if you just join us towards this initiative, and we will further we can think of a platform where we will bring the stakeholders from the government, from different, say, as you rightly said, for the state of Surat. So we will engage with the government of Surat and also with our commerce and textile ministry towards and also towards making some policy on uh, on sustainability and towards the carbon footprint and taking this initiative for, forward. So we would work with you together in a same direction.
Sure, happy to be part of it. And if you can just share the details, and I can also forward it to my team at the back end, that what are their next plannings for it. And definitely we can look into it.
so what probably just to I think there was some problem in the in the communication because his voice was not very
Yeah.
clear. I will just like to amplify that. Yash has been working for the last 2 years to really bring in international export of khadi, and also conducting experiments by bringing countries, neighboring countries, and international countries to really collaborate and create a new experience. For example, last year there was a fashion show that was conducted between Indonesian designers and Indian Ritu Berry, with the support of KVIC, where what they had done was to really engage with the batik technique of Indonesia, and the designers designed their creations with a fusion concept that Indian and batik, both combinations by the designers, the way they express themselves, both in the ethnic wear as well as in uh, the international wear.
So yeah,
So
so it is yeah, so it's towards the cross promotion of the art and culture of two countries, and we are trying to bring the batik on our Indian khadi. So we are trying to bring the Kyoto of Japan. It's a silk weaving technique of Japan uh, on uh, on our Indian both handlooms and khadi. So we have the cross tribal art of South Africa. We have Godobo of Argentina. Then we have Madni silk of Thailand, Lotus silk of Myanmar, Batik of Indonesia. We have certain very nice patterns of Egypt and hand paintings of Mongolia, embroidery of Uzbekistan. So it's more on the cross-country art fusion where they bring their techniques on our Indian handlooms and khadi, and we take our patterns and techniques to their country, which not only brings both the countries together in terms of culture towards cultural promotion, but also it also enhances the exports of both countries amongst each other.
That's a wonderful
so this
initiative.
is this is this is one initiative that we feel that is going to really spur process in terms of countries, and you have to learn the new techniques. This is the opportune time for you. We would like technology focused companies like you to really partner with us, participate with us to really make that happen and create new fashion statements. I mean, those fashion statements might be having the flavor of the ethnic flavor of that particular country, but also bringing in the international flavor for the global audience. And that's that's an approach that is possible to really kind of change the scenario. Coming back
So
to the
just want to
technology front,
no, ma'am, I just
yeah,
would like to
please,
add
please.
one thing to it. I just would like to add one thing to it is that now since we have our Indian designers, we have Indian weavers, and we have people like you who are into technology. So in a similar fashion, we are looking forward to bring the weavers, the technologists, and also the fashion designers, including their respective government officials, to come and do some brainstorming sessions and to discuss about new technologies, new innovations, and new design patterns in their respective design innovations. So we would be happy to collaborate where we can further and if we are thinking to launch it in parallel to our ongoing event, which is Handloom Festival, which we have extended for another 1 month, and it will be now. I think we will be extending it till 31st of December. So we have almost 45 days for this event to close. So we can discuss it later that how we can work together on this initiative.
So technology becomes a very, very important integral. I remember during the time that India 30 years back, 25 years back, we had absolutely zero presence in the software arena. Somebody took a call and said, okay, let's really do something about it. Into the areas which were not really being our strength. We had enough technological expertise, but we were not really reaching out to really find our niche. And we found it in the BPO sector, and then we created history. And I personally am very strongly believe that we have the opportunity to become the center stage of fashion tech if we really bring both these communities, that is the technology community and the fashion industry together. And to make it happen, it is a community approach that we need to take. So, what is the method that we can actually? So, you mentioned that we need to really do such events, but events don't really make things happen. You need to provide them. Much more what is called a hands-on case. For example, a line of a direction to be really given so that they can follow. So one thing that you suggested is very important that I think Yash can possibly kind of take that up is Surat being the hub. How do we really engage with them so that will then that can reduce the polyester to a bit, and if it's done in that cluster, you can actually kind of expand it into the most what you call, because all the factories transformational effort if we really engage with them and take this thing. But how do we engage with the technology companies? That is where the real challenge lies. At this point of time, the technology companies actually do not like to really look at fashion as one of the areas, despite the fact that some $3 trillion economy. The fashion industry is of is more than the size of the GDP of countries, and we have more than 30 to 40% of wastage in the current this thing. So there is uh, nothing better than this as to be looked as an opportunity. But most of the technology companies are basically looking at developing the technology and using it themselves only, not being able to really make it open to other. How is this uh, exchange possible, that it's not only your brand that you can use it for, but also have a system to really transfer or support other brands to use your technology. Transformation possible for other small and medium enterprises to really use technology as what we call SaaS, that is software as a service model.
Hello.
Yeah. So,
Uh, Hi. Am I audible?
yes, very
Uh,
much.
okay. Yeah, the voice was breaking between. But anyways, I just got a glimpse of it, what you were talking about. So you are right. I mean, it is a challenge, and actually, fashion industry is into a transition phase right now. This transition phase has came before well in time because of the COVID, that people are at least started talking about technologies. Now, if we talk about 3D body scanning app, it is not that it has been just started now. everybody is working in isolation right now, even today also. So there are companies which are completely tech based and they're working on creating a 3D mobile app. It's just an example to come back to your answer. Uh, they are purely engineers. They are purely tech people who are creating this 3D mobile app. They developed an app, they go to the brands and do a testing bit, and testing fails. Why it fails? Because garment industry is not an easy industry to crack in terms of technology. It needs lot of data. It needs combination of tech people and fashion people together. Okay, creating any software, it's easy sitting in a room and doing it, but creating a software for fashion is not easy because you need fashion experts on board to make them understand this is the challenge that fashion industry is facing. You cannot make the software in isolation. So that's why there are companies, okay, there are a lot of companies from Europe, from US who actually tried and tested with the app where you can integrate with your platform and customers can actually see, put their body height and some of their attributes of your body and they'll come to know, okay, you fit into this brand, this size of this brand. But again, that is purely worked on a data. That is not purely developed on actual reality of sizing of the customer. So again, as they are working in isolation, brands, the accuracy rate is not that high. So brands are refusing to accept it. That's how this challenge is there. And this industry is in transition phase right now. It is going to take some time. For now, engineers and fashion industry, they are moving together and they are trying to crack this kind of softwares and technologies where actually brands can actually use it. Now, for example, a virtual mirror. It's a Delhi, Gurgaon based company. I think 6 years back, they were into news that they came up with a virtual mirror. So you would stand in front of the mirror. Those are again engineers who developed it. You stand in front of the mirror, hang garment on your body, and you see the fit, how it looks on your body. Okay, they have done that part very beautifully. But what happened is that garment is hanging on your body. It is not fitting on your body. So practically, this will not help the brands to sell their clothing because if it is hanging on your body, customer will not actually know how the fit it is. So fit how the fit it is on their body. So again, that is not acceptable by the industry. So brands they said, okay, it is a very nice mirror. It helps you to skip the queues of trial room, but it will not actually help to make them sale of that. Conversion will not happen through this virtual mirror. So there are a lot of Indian companies also which come up with virtual mirror, but it sits in a hanging phase. It's not fitting on your body. So these things are happening. It's going to take some time. And I think if one of the bigger companies take this on board, it is easier for the acceptance. But I think it is going to take few years to pass this transition, and actually it picks up very quickly in terms of our. Other than there is again webinars and connecting people and finding right people on board. Fashion people should connect with technology people and collaborate with them and come up with the solution. And it's not in a year or two, an app will be there to scan your body sitting at home. So those people are going to give it to the more brands. It is not going to restrict with one brand. Okay, you use this app and nobody else is going to use it. It's not like that. It's going to happen. But this transition phase is going to be a little longer as compared to other technologies which has been adapted in software or other industries. But fashion is going to take some time. But I think positive side is that this COVID is going to be a catalyst for this whole technology to be accepted in fashion. So we have to still, everybody has to put their own efforts and wait and watch how this industry moves in terms of tech part. But we have to collaborate together in terms of engineers and fashion people. Isolation is not key for the success of technology in fashion. Is not the key actually. It has to be in the integration.
That's very well said. Very well said. So, my next question is that since you mentioned COVID, what is the kind of fashion trend which is trying to kind of get into? So, for example, Raymond's has come up with a brand for a brand of fabrics for high-end clothing brand for suits, which is Versa Life or something. That's the name. Versa Safe, uh, which is nano coated, nanoparticle coated fabric, which repels the virus, and it's called virus safe. So, what is the trend that you see catching up in the fashion area, using some of the technologies based on nanotechnology, especially for the health purposes?
So, for health purposes, Raymond is one of the examples in trendy clothing because if we see the uh, kind of a hospital segment, they already are developing new and new fabrics to help doctors and other people in the hospital to get rid of it. I mean, now we have PP kits which came into this is also another example of innovation of the fabric, that it doesn't stay for long on the PP kits, the fabric, the melted fabric which is being used for PP kits. So that is another innovation of the fabric. Similarly, that is specifically used for one particular industry like hospitals or health industry. In terms of fashion where people are trying to innovate with the textiles, like it should be virus free, or I would say introducing wearable technology into the garments, like Nike came up with, that you can just count your heartbeat or your breath with the t-shirts. Though it is not again the same thing. Everybody is working, but it is not mass produced. It is not into the market. One of my friend, when I was in London and we were working on a few projects differently, she's working on a wearable technology, which is that is specifically for health segment. So they are working on AI development of a product where they are preparing, manufacturing a kind of a footwear that it gives you ease into your feet. That is a automatic massager to your feet. It is kind of that footwear. It's been almost 4 years. So a lot of AI team and health team and fashion team is working together to make it happen. So again, this transition phase is going to be little longer, but a lot of people are working on textiles also in terms of health, on some other accessories of fashion, which can help to be more healthy as well. And similarly at the trendy part.
Great. So, just to share with you, we one of the other categories that we have apart from sustainable fabrics is the wearable embedded into the garments, or the garments accessorized with the wearables. Uh, Especially for fashion, as well as the utility products. For example, masks. Masks have a lot of possibilities to really not only be used as a cover to your this thing, but also bring in some of our traditional methods. So, for example, one of our innovators has worked on providing copper layer to the mask, which actually has become a trend in Europe. They have already started this unit here in India, and they're exporting it internationally. The simple mask techniques are used, but at the same time, there is an additional layer of copper. Copper in the Indian medical this thing is basically removes the virus, or the virus doesn't remain on the copper surfaces for a long time. So these are the kind of innovations that innovators in India are already doing. But to make it a fashion statement, you really have a very high market presence if you really take it to the this thing. How can these products be integrated into the fashion ecosystem if we really have to? Uh, is what is the real challenge. And I for this hack at Fashion Tech, collaborated with two diverse set of people. One is IBM. IBM is a technology leader in AI in fashion. And we had a session which was oversubscribed by almost like 300 times, where we had to open up a Facebook channel for this thing in the midst of the program, because we had so much of over registrations, as well as a lot of people wanted to really listen to what IBM has to say. And IBM has extended all kind of support to us in terms of the hackathon, that if there are fashion companies who want to really have the products developed, we will support in terms of technology, giving the technology framework free for a year, giving the use cases and the combination. For your information, IBM has a lab which has been set up at the New York Fashion Institute, and they have been experimenting with a lot of products in using AI for some of the major brands in the world. And there is a specific team which works very closely with the fashion designers and the fashion brands. So that support and that experience is available if somebody wants to, but how do we really engage with the fashion designers, and how do we engage with this ecosystem, is something we've still not been able to crack. So what are your views on how do we especially considering that if we look at the learnings that IBM has had with so many of these applications. So AI in fashion is one area, and blockchain for supply chain integration is another area. We have a session coming down further this week where we have a top-notch expert from IBM sharing her views on how to use blockchain in the fashion industry. But participation by the industry per se doesn't come too much. How can we better that to really make this happen?
Again, I think my answer will be almost similar to this, to the previous ones. It's again awareness.
Right.
Everybody, lot of people, they know about it. A lot of people, they understand it. But initiatives are not that uh, huge to accelerate this whole process. Everyone has to take a step forward. And I think the best part that you are doing right now, if we can do this on a frequently basis, get more people on board. Now it's a simple way. The way I got connected with Swati, you were the medium to make it happen for this.
Right.
So a lot of more people has to come on board. They have to talk about it. They have to create the awareness, and I mean, give something like that. That okay, people should start engaging into it.
Right.
Foreign industry, designers, manufacturers, celebrities are the creator of the industries. Customers are just the trend followers. They don't make trends. If we talk about Indian scenario fashion industry.
Yes, that's a very, very strong statement that you've made. But yes, that's true. That's true that the fashion is basically driven by the fashion designers and the brands rather than by the customers per se. So there has to be a synergy between the two, and if we want to really make any change, then the biggest thing that you have to do is how do you really bring about a change maker into the process who really. So we're doing a small bit, but I think we need to see how we could go to the next level. And you've given a very, very valid this thing to engage more with the other stakeholders. We're already engaging with some of the government sector to really provide some benefits in terms of the
Yeah.
education. So in the last conversation that I had with IBM and JD Institute, So we had a panel discussions similar to this. Unfortunately, one of the person who was scheduled to come for today's panel discussion, he could not come because he's running fever. Otherwise, they've actually worked on creating a story through a tag, which is a
Okay.
technical product. It's a small thing, but I mean, if you have that tag, you can actually kind of know the story of that particular piece of garment, where it was produced, who produced the cotton or the fabric, and who developed the design, and who manufactured it, and so on and so forth. The entire story of that particular piece of garment is told in a very, very uh, beautiful manner. So these are small things that are possible, that basically are important because customers really benefit from these. Because today the customer is much more aware than
Yeah.
the previous, especially when we talk about millennials. So coming
Okay.
to the last this thing question, I think the other trend that I foresee is the 3D printing, especially in the technology, especially for the fashion retail and the fashion related technologies that are going to create a huge impact. What are your views on 3D printing, and especially, are you doing anything on e-retail or on your in your company, or do you have any plans to use 3D printing in any way?
3D printing, yeah, I mean, it is again a very hot topic these days. Not these, it started, I think, long back, almost 15, 20 years back, but it picked up in the trend from past 7, 8 years when designers actually showcase their garments made out of 3D printer. The way you mentioned the shoes in the last presentation, shoes and a lot of even Lady Gaga's garment was made in 3D printed, print through 3D printer, the dress she has to wear on the stage during her show. So it picked up very well. But again, there are challenges to produce it on a masses level. Like if you want to do a mass scalability, the cost has to be good enough for a sellable purpose. So all the companies, they are working on their costings. Yes, because just to capture the equal market share other brands. For example, the companies like I'm talking about US or UK marketplaces, they're offering the garments at 9 pounds, 11 pounds. What do you think in 11 pounds? What kind of fabric it's going to be? What kind of labor it has been involved in? Other ethical practices have been used? Even to beat that kind of margins or that kind of a price points, 3D printer is still not at a scalable level at the moment. If we talk about the bigger brand, adoption by the bigger brands. Similarly, we because we are also competing with those brands. So definitely in future, if there can be some more economical solution for 3D printer and a scalable solution, we are more keen to adapt new technologies into our company. But we are still looking into it, but not have adapted to our system.
So I think accessories market is picking up, especially with 3D printing and combination of some amount of color changing fabrics and things like
Yeah.
that, which actually give you the e-ink effect or the LED effect of changing colors or changing the luminosity of the particular fabric. Now, those are things in the 3D printing, and the combination is started to see the this thing, but it hasn't, as you rightly said, not been mass produced.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, we have some very good 3D printing facilities being created in India at a very micro level, in the sense that right in the school curriculum, 3D printing has been introduced by Atal Innovation Mission. And there is a very early in the schools, children are being taught in the tinkering labs to really experiment and bring out some new products in that area. I personally feel there's a lot of opportunity that can be tapped if we really innovate in this area, and that's one of the categories that we have in our hackathon, in which we can participate. But we need problem statements from the fashion industry, which actually tell which are the real problems that need to be tackled, rather than just trying to use 3D printing as a alternative. So if you have a problem which is better solved by 3D printing, then the adoption by the companies, by the entire stakeholder community would be much, much higher if we are able to really find the right fit for the technology. So as you discovered the fitting part being one of the crucial elements, we know that
Yeah.
the wastage is another problem areas, and especially the unsold inventory when you are mass producing in the fashion. And 3D printing can be printed one at a time, one piece at a time, in the similar fashion as what you're doing in terms of producing one piece at a time. But there is also a possibility to actually, and what 3D printing offers is not only that it offers to produce one this thing, it uses what is called the additive process. That means you're not so even in a simple garment that you produce with the best of the this thing, there are 20 to 30% of wastage in a normal process, because there's a lot of wastage, because it's a subtractive process. Whereas in the additive process, you are only producing what you need. You don't
Yeah.
produce what is not needed. So you are cutting down that 20 to 30% from a subtractive process in the first go itself. So these are some of the techniques which the technology offers a lot of this thing, but it is for the ecosystem to really see how they can use it to the best of their areas, and create new products, new innovations in those areas, and commercialize it. So I think with this, we'll end the panel discussion. And would you like to really share some of the technology details, or about your product? Because that's the next session that we have, which is, I think we've already overshot this thing, because I thought since both of us are there, so we might, if you can just spend a few minutes in explaining the technological aspects of your product, as to what kind of technologies that you are using, you will be able to really give a bit better listening to the people who are listening.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sorry, it got disconnected in between.
right. No, no,
Sorry
no
about that.
issues. Yeah. So I was saying that the next planned session was on the uh, technological aspects of the fashion e-retail. And if you would care to share your the technology related insights, because there are few people who are joining in from on the YouTube channel, and I have to just see if there are any questions in the meantime in the YouTube channel, in terms of what kind of technologies that you're using in terms of VR, or in terms of the technology stack that you're using, so that people can see how they could engage with certain problem statements in those areas using those technologies.
Okay. So let me just open some videos just to show them the real picture. So can I share the screen for this?
Yeah, you can. Definitely. I've stopped my share. You can do that.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just taking one of the our experience in the store, how screens and how 3D printer, 3D body scanner is being used.
Right.
Hope, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You just increase the volume a little bit. The volume is
Okay.
very low.
Hello.
Yeah. So can you
Okay.
stop your share, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Right.
Sorry, I have to just. Oh, sorry about that.
Right. No, no
I have to
issues.
just. Okay. So this was one of our, like, the first pop-up store that we have created in Delhi, with the first 3D body scanner in India, and through some touch screens where you have seen the changes in the customization. So this is a real experience that we have provided to our customers, that they come into the store, they do customizations, and it's kind of a playground where you are just playing with your styles on the touch screen. You can change different colors, fabrics, everything. And as per your body shape, you can add on with the sleeves or change the dress length or top length or whatever you want, and get into the body scanner. Because as per, we have done a survey with around 200 people, 85% of women, they don't know about their sizes. Okay, we might fit in small, we might fit in medium, and every day we even see the same challenges with the customer. They send their photographs and they tell, okay, just you look, you decide the size looking at our photographs, which is very challenging. You cannot scan through the photograph with your eyes. So this 3D body scanner was like a great relief to the whole company in terms of customization, where women were happily going into the body scanner and giving their measurements. So initially we thought, we were like very much skeptical about how people are going to accept the technology, but it was like overwhelming response that women were happy to get into the body scanner, get their body scanned. And the best part was, this was like uh, digital scanning, nobody's touching you. I mean, still we belong to India, and a lot of women having issues getting measured through tailors or masters. So this thing, they relieved a lot, that okay, we are getting scanned and nobody's touching us. So it was a huge success when we saw women entering into the body scanner and get their body scanned and giving us their measurements. And the other bit that we found was, women were not very much happy to see their avatars. So initially we were showing them, but then we thought, no, it's not a good thing to show them, because definitely you have some other perception of your body, and when you see actually it is, it's like, oh no, this is who we are. So we stopped sharing it with them. So it was very funny thing happened, and it was a, I think it's learning with the time, and it was a
Great.
huge
In
success with
fact,
our store. Hello.
yeah. So, in fact, I have a development center. We worked on a project for an Australian brand to create something on this same similar lines, and this was basically a mobile app. A mobile app that means a consumer at the luxury of their homes can actually take the measurements and send out the details through the software, and no picture of the person is recorded. It's only the data points, the 300 data points for which the measurements are made, and only the measurement details of those 300 data points is transmitted to the server. And based on those measurement points, you can actually tailor the garment based on that. So this was AI based 3D modeling that we had done. It's about 2.5 years. I'm not at a liberty to share it because this is a development project which was against NDA clause with the customer. We can't share any of the details, but yes, there are a lot of companies in India which are doing software development for international brands, providing all the intellectual property in terms of our progress on AI, but uh, none of the Indian brands have really kind of got into. So I really salute that you've done that exercise. Whenever we talk about this to the Indian companies, they say that Indian women are not, they don't want to be their pictures to be taken, forget about this thing. I said, I mean, I think it's just the opposite. It is just that women in India are so easily, I mean, if you ask them to really that can I take a click a picture, they happily agree with that. And that's not true with any other country. Nobody would allow you to take a picture without their formal permission, but here in India, women are more than happy to really kind of give their picture. But the industry somehow is dominated by, especially the brands in India are dominated by male counterparts. And I think there is a lot of inherent bias that one has in terms of understanding and considering that women are the biggest shoppers, and especially in the apparel garment sector. We need to really come up with more women-friendly technologies, and women have to take the lead to kind of produce products which are catering to that segment in a big way. So, thank you about this product, but your other product that you had showcased, do you have a little more on the technology part of the other product? This was a 3D modeling product, and the garment production area. Can you share something for the benefit of some of the students who are
Sure.
here?
Sure. So garment production is more likely, it's kind of a digital process that we are using. Due to confidentiality of the company, I cannot share on the screen here, but I
That's
can
okay.
definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
So the way the process worked is, it's all, we have developed few in-house softwares that once a customer from the, I mean, basically that is an integration of the front end and the back end.
Right.
Customer whenever sitting anywhere in India or outside, because we are live in India and America. So if they're sitting anywhere in India, they go on a website, they do customizations, they work around, they play around with this thing, which they love it. I mean, we got so many reviews from the customer that customization is not only giving us the style, but it's a good kind of a ground where you can play around with the styles. So they, whenever they do customizations, automatically that comes into our software, and with their measurements, it come as an order form to us. So the, within a fraction of second, the order is placed, it goes into a backend manufacturing system, where the same thing which the customer has ordered comes into a backend system, where they automatically takes it out and the process from there starts. So then we have, people who are taking the order form to different stages of manufacturing, where they do cutting and stitching and packaging, and it is shipped. So partially it is semi-automated at the back end. We are working on a robotic sewing machines. It's almost like 2 years we are working on that project in collaboration with few universities, India and abroad. And we are targeting in 2025 to develop the first industrial sewing robot, which is going to sew the whole garment. So we don't need tailors for that. It will be just a sewing robot who's going to combination of 2 or 3 sewing robots to stitch the whole garment in different stages. So
Yeah.
that's how we're working on. The rest, the whole technology is available in the market in terms of automated cutter from Europe. Then there is automated finisher. So it's just an integration of the whole process that we need. And there are other certain things that we are developing in terms of measurements. So it's the measurements that the women is giving. We don't make on those measurements. You have to put some ease. So we are developing an AI on that. That let's say if we have 2,000 orders in a day, you cannot do it manually. So the
Yeah.
computer is going to tell you that how which measurements you should make on,
Right.
because then our dependency on our cutters and pattern makers reduced, because we are not. Then machine is telling you, pattern master doesn't have to put it himself. So that's how every stage we are automating, and we're targeting in next 4 to 5 years to make a factory as a digital factory, complete digital factory with all this process of manufacturing. Partially it is like right now it's a semi-automated.
Right. So that's a great use case, in fact, for others to learn from. I personally interacted a bit during the Corona times to really look at the PP production facility. In fact, there's almost about 90% robotic process which has been followed. That is why India was able to really produce a lot more of PPE kits. We had at the onset of the virus, when the lockdown was announced, we were not even having one PPE garment company.
Yeah,
And by the time, by April, we had not only been producing some of the major requirements of the country, but by uh, May or June, we started exporting. So
right.
though there was an export ban, we had this thing, and uh, it was such a combined effort of the Science and Technology Ministry, the Ministry of Textile and Garment, the 200 vendors in the textile garment industry came up to really start producing the PP fabric part. There was a registration process which was undertaken by the Ministry of Textiles, and then the robotic process. There are two new plants which were set up under the medical hubs in Lucknow and in Vishakhapatnam, and the production capacity was very huge. And then of course there is one in Gurgaon that came up. So we quickly kind of ramped up the production, and all kind of support that you needed from the government came in. And I think if we really take a conscious call on doing something, we can actually do it in 3 months in the governmental setup. In the Corona times, if we could do it, we can possibly do it in the normal times. And those production capacities now are available. So I mean, there are robotic processes set up to really produce. Very consciously, they kept the some of the processes manual, and most of the production process completely automated, for a simple reason that you needed a very high accuracy in terms of virus should not be able to enter the PPE kit in in terms of giving the necessary protection to the healthcare workers. But the same amount of programming can be done for any kind of fashion garments, because now those machines are available, and there is a full-fledged medical facility. So and there is a complete hub which has been created for doing this activity in some of these states have taken the leap, and others are going to follow, looking at the kind of success that they have been able to really get in the whole process. So unfortunately, most of the people would not be able to. Uh, 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 like the project that I'm currently doing, Hack at Fashion Tech, I actually did help in the COVID times, the government of India to really execute a business plan kind of activity on the COVID related challenges. And we had a bright young a designer who came up with an idea of a breathable PPE kit. So most of the PPE kit manufacturers are using a very thick material, so that doesn't in the summers it was very difficult for doctors to really wear that even in an air conditioned environment, and most of the government hospitals, don't have an air conditioned environment. So it was very difficult, and that's the reason why they were not even attending to the patients. So she came up with an idea of really creating a similar kind of structure as what you have in mask. If you have a filter in certain areas of where fresh air can come and be. So those are challenges. So once you understand the challenges, and there are enough designers and enough innovators which are available to kind of bridge that gap and come up with some very unique products in that area. So this girl was a college student in one of the which was it was an ongoing challenge for at least 7 episodes I was involved in, where we had a continuous stream of innovators coming and showcasing their ideas and getting an industry partner to partner with them. So I think anything else that you would like to share with our participants, because not only that there is a recording for this which will be shared with a lot of colleges who subscribe to the participating in the hackathon or otherwise as a part of this thing. I intend to really create a formal accelerator which will allow a lot of fashion designers and others to collaborate and see how we could innovate in this process, because it's not going to happen in a single day. It's not going to happen by a single initiative. A lot of people have to be engaged with this process. So this is the first step, but while we are at it, if we can kind of create a knowledge base that can be used or referenced in future also, that is what is the whole objective of this exercise. And since it was a closed group, we already had a lot of registered participants, and we didn't want to really kind of have exposure. We wanted to just be within the closed group, because when you want to bring change, you need to really do it with a certain set of people rather than going all out. And otherwise, it becomes another event which you go for, have a cup of coffee and come back, and after you're back, you have nothing else to really remember except for the coffee. So I don't want to really had that this thing. So there has to be knowledge that has to be generated, that needs to be then disseminated to the right audience in the right manner. So anything else that you have to share? Otherwise, we would like to uh, take the next step to really uh, close the
Okay.
session and then move on to the next targeted thing, which is basically addressing the students' queries and interacting
Okay.
with them one on one.
Okay.
Like to have a
So,
final.
mhm. Okay. So, I mean, as we are a tech-based fashion company, we are open with the interns. I mean, we are hiring some interns in terms of people who do machine learning, people who do students who are passionate about machine learning or passionate about coding, and women who are looking their career in fashion. Because, as I explained before, that we are coming up with few styling apps, and we're working on a few other technologies as well. So we are hiring a lot of interns who can actually get an exposure specifically in technology side. So anybody who's interested can just drop us an email on info@samshek.com, and we can just see. We are looking for passionate people, passionate students who actually want to do some change. I mean, the way you are just taking a very big initiative to integrate the whole industry in terms of technology and fashion together. So we are also trying to bridge the gap through our as a CSR, where we can train the students and just to make them understand that if they are into AI, what all best they can do to develop few new good things. And definitely those things will not only be with Samshek, but they are going to get spread into the industry, and which will help other brands also to integrate with it. So we are open for that.
Right. Right. Thank you very much for that. I think that is a definitive need. I mean, at least artificial intelligence, there are quite a number of students, at least four universities that I have been working very closely with, have developed a lot of capability skill set on artificial intelligence. And I've, over the last 3 years, done about 36 hackathons on different subjects. The last four being purely focused on lifestyle, especially with the COVID 19, what kind of changes or what kind of new products, what kind of innovations that the young innovators can come out for the and not for fashion, but for the lifestyle changes that you need to do. And some very interesting ideas came up for social distancing, managing social distancing, managing uh, uh, variables which are embedded with technology for maintaining the safe distances through a cap or through a jacket or very innovative products. I think there is your idea is very welcome. We'll have it shared across this thing. If you can mention the kind of nature of engagement that you would like, we can formally circulate it to about 200 odd participants who are participating in the boot camp right now. We already have more than 200 people who are registered for this boot camp. And so the luxury that they have is they don't have to be fully engaged, because they might be students who are in college and they have their classes to attend, and that's also online, so you can't attend every session. But we are offering them the recording so that they can view it at their ease. So if you can share your JD
Okay.
in terms
So
of
it's
the
sure.
exact
We'll do
kind
that.
of this thing, we'll be happy to really share it across with this thing. And also, if you could share some problem statements that you would like them to work on, we can possibly pose it to some of the teams that do not have an idea. They've still to make up their minds on the idea per se. So then
Okay.
they can work on that. So with that, I'd
Sure.
like
Thank
to
you.
thank you very much for your. I think we've overshot the time for your session a bit, because we had to kind of merge the two sessions as far as this thing. I'm yet to kind of take the remaining part of the session in the technology. I have since I've been researching a lot on this area, I have a lot to talk about, but I'd rather only talk about what people can chew at the time, and it's much better to do it with people who are industry practitioner rather than I'm a knowledge entrepreneur, so I keep researching on areas which have a great potential but are still untapped or not tapped to their potential. And if we can bring about some change, this is where we are aiming to uh, lead to. It's a slow process. Sometimes it's very frustrating, but at the end, you see, when you see results coming, it takes a long, long time before and it takes a long, long time before at least 3 or 4 sectors within my lifetime. So software development in India, I was the first product manager to develop a product to get an international award way back in 92.
Wow.
Worked very closely with the tourism sector to bring on a lot of transformation through multiple projects of this kind, similar kind to some of the efforts saw results after 15 years. My city, which is a tourist city, won a first tourism destination tag by the World Tourism Organization. So that takes a lot of time to really bring about change, because change is something that doesn't happen. It's only in the times like today where we have a problem that has to be solved now. So you have this not only like a challenge that you have to change, but you are forced to the change. So you have to come up with solutions, and there is where I see a lot of opportunities right now in the fashion tech area, especially solving the health related challenges, and how we can combine that with fashion will make a great selling point for the whole industry. So thank you once again. And Yash, would you like to say a few words before we close the session?
Yeah, so it was a very good session, it has lots of learning. I have learned a lot from both of
Your
you.
voice is very low, Yash.
My
Can't hear you
so
properly.
okay.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Yeah, so first of all, I would like to thank both of you. It was a very knowledgeable session. I learned a lot from both of you. Since I don't come from this fashion industry, I am more towards international business. So yes, whatever has been discussed, let's bring it on table, and let's capitalize on our knowledge towards bringing social change. And I look forward to work closely with you, Samiksha ji, on various subjects which we have discussed today. And Dolly ma'am, thank you so much for inviting Samiksha ji for sharing her thoughts. It was a very good session, and I have received lots of comments on my personal WhatsApp by several people who are our exhibitors at World Trade Expo. The session is very knowledgeable, and most of us has given me thanks for inviting them to attend this session, and look forward for similar fruitful sessions in future as well.
Thank you so much. And I
Thank
would
you.
like to say that your tagline, I am Khadi, is very inspiring, very motivational. It just inculcates in the blood. Okay, I am Khadi, right?
So as our honorable prime minister, since he came into power in 2014, he always wanted to take Khadi from local to global, and he being a brand ambassador for Khadi,
Okay.
he is trying to do lots of. In fact, he has got lots of changes in the Khadi sector. So what we did was that once in late 2018, when we started off with this initiative, we thought that in order to take Khadi from local to global, the biggest hindrance is that we don't have an HS code for Khadi. So we went to the government and we tried to educate that in order to take Khadi from local to global, that's what the Prime Minister's vision is. Let's now try to talk about, and we have emphasized that let's have an HS code for Khadi, which was listened by most of the ministers, and the ministry absorbed our this thought process. And then last year in November, they have launched the HS code for Khadi, because prior November, the Khadi was exported under the handloom HS code, which is silk, wool, cotton. But now we have a separate HS code for Khadi, so now we can see that how much Khadi has actually been exported from India to other parts of the world. So it was one of the very innovative initiative which we have taken, Honorable Commerce Minister last year. And as whatsoever has been discussed during this today's session, let's work together cohesively in order to make an impact in the handloom and khadi sector and to make it a global fabric. However, I think globally 95% of handloom fabric or a textile which has been exported, it's been contributed by India. 95% of the global exports is contributed by Indian handlooms. So the remaining 5% is left over. So our aim is to get India to be that 5% space as well, and so uh, that's it.
Wonderful. Amazing.
In fact, it was so surprising that 2 weeks back, Prime Minister, when he was speaking on Man Ki Baat, he actually talked about khadi for almost about 5-7 minutes on his experience with a Mexican gentleman who has adopted khadi, and they are producing khadi in Mexico. And he was
Wow.
inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, and now has a company which is actually developing khadi in Mexico. So there are a lot of things that there is a lot of cultural impact that because khadi is not just it's an ideology, it's an approach towards sustainable livelihood with low impact on the environment, which is what we need to propagate. We need to really be very proud of and make it a part of this thing. And what better than really having it being rooted through the fashion route, which might actually be a very good way to circumvent the current negative impacts that the fashion industry has on the environment.
And
So with
honestly
that, I
telling,
think we'll.
ma'am, yeah, lastly, I would like
Yeah.
to make a comment. Honestly telling, the whatever initiative which Samiksha ji has initiated, firstly, if we bring this technology to a khadi sector, the khadi annual turnover last year in 1920 yet to come, 1819 was 65,000 crores. So if we bring her technology into the khadi sector, which I don't think that we have such technology which exists as of now, there were several companies who came and made the presentation to KVIT, which includes few blockchain technologies from US and from Dubai as well. But I don't think that anybody is able to break through and got something, uh, a sort of an MOU with them. But looking into Samiksha's initiative, I'm pretty bit confident that if this technology comes into this and is been imbibed by KVIT, then the sky is the limit. Then I think she will be the first women in history of India to give a special shape to khadi in terms of what all she has to offer, the technology side of
So that
in the
reminds
khadi
me, Yash,
sector.
why don't you talk a little bit
Sky is the
about
limit.
the design council? There is a special effort by the ministry for setting up a design facilitation center for khadi and handloom. So that's the maybe might be a place to start talk about later once we have a little more deliberations. But again, I'd like to thank you very much for being with us and sharing your knowledge and experience. You've done wonderful, and we're looking forward to your support. We're looking forward to collaborating with you and seeing how we could take this movement as a movement rather than a one-off event. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dolly ji. Thank you so
Can we
much.
have a
And
can we have group picture, Dolly ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
sure.
So, if the participants, I don't think that most of the participants are
Swati, if you can, Swati, if you may kindly uh, come on the webcam screen.
Swati, Karuna. So, I know most of the students have logged in from the YouTube channel, so they would not be available on the on the Zoom call. But if you can at least have, so some of the members are still here. Yash is not. You're not on the cam? Yeah, that's it. So this is a customary process that we have, especially some of the group members who are either speakers or the participants in this thing. We have a group picture. So if we can just say cheese.
Cheese.
Great. Thank you very much. Look forward to the next
Thank you, Dolly
session
ji.
by tomorrow.
Thank you, Yashji. Thank you so much. All the best. It's a great initiative. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
You will be the medium to connect more people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.